This week on Cartoon Dumpster Dive, we cover the cartoon movie, The Electric Piper. Let's get piped up.
Yeah.
That can mean two things, Joel. That can mean you're about to smoke marijuana, or
Okay.
you're gonna have penis sex.
Oh.
The pipe being male genitalia. But neither of those thankfully happen in this movie.
Yeah, it would be a weird children's cartoon if either
Be pretty
one of
on
those
brand
happened.
for Nickelodeon. Got you, Dan Snyder,
Hey.
you son of a bitch. Brr, 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 brr. All right.
Take that.
So, if you remember, we took as our April Fool's Day joke last week. We just didn't make an episode, and so April Fool. And but if you remember from the My Dad is a Rock Star, Marianne, also known as King of the Hill Talk, had talked about the Electric Piper. And how she was like, I don't know how this slipped under the radar. I don't know how this got missed by everybody. Well, we actually know the answer to that, which we'll get into later this episode.
Yeah.
But Joel, this is a rock opera. So while it doesn't have an actual theme, what did you think of the music?
The music ain't that bad.
Nah, it ain't bad at all. And there's a reason for that, too.
Yeah,
Which is actually the reason is why it doesn't have any rerun.
I was surprised as I was listening to the music. I was very shocked that this thing that no one knows about, that the music was, I'm not saying it's, knocking it out of the park, but
It's
We've
not
lis-
revolutionary.
we've listened to some crap on this podcast. And this one, I would say, it's not crap. It's not great. It's just like, nah, this ain't too shabby. I'm tapping a foot to it.
Why do you sound like an old blues man?
I don't know, because Jimi Hendrix, I don't know.
Jimi Hendrix is basically in this movie.
Yeah. There we go. I recalled my old, musician inside of me.
But so, yeah, I would give these songs like I'd say a 7 out of 10.
Okay. See, I was going to go like 6.
I liked them. I did not hate watching this movie.
I am surprised that this, because it is kind of like a lost media.
It was actually, it was considered lost media forever because it aired February 2nd, 2003.
Right.
And did not appear again until somebody re-uploaded it on YouTube August 9th, 2016.
Which the story goes with that is, because this aired on Nickelodeon in 2003, but after it aired, it literally, like you said, just fell off the map. And someone, this is the rumor, that just some anonymous person reached out to someone who had a hand at Nickelodeon, and that person just sent them a copy of this.
It was it was Dan Snyder. This guy was like, I'll send you a picture of my feet. You send me a copy of the Electric Piper. He's like,
Dan Snyder could not send it fast enough.
He folded like a house of cards, and we have those. His first question was, "How old are you?" And he was like, "That's not important. Do you want these feet pictures or not?"
I guess any feet will do at this point.
Guess any feet will do. I don't know if that documentary came out in 2016, so he might have still
I
Still
think
might
he
have
was.
been all right. Yeah.
Yeah, but to me, that is crazy because this isn't. It's not terrible. It's
No.
I mean, it's bearable. Like it does seem like some sort of movie that would have been shown multiple times on Nickelodeon. Hell, even like you look at the voice actors in this, and it blew my mind that this fell into lost media for like, 15, 14 years almost.
So, all right, I'll basically, I know why that happened.
Okay, all right, hit me with it. Hit me with it.
So, according to Bill Burnett, the clearance issue with the soundtrack, which halted the program from further reruns, was the result from executive meddling. So basically, what they did is they had songs that sounded like famous songs.
Oh.
And they were able to get away with it because they were close, but not close. But the executives kept making them tweak it to be like, we'll make it sound like this, which is weird because, of course, an executive would understand copyright law.
Yeah.
But the executives kept wanting to make revisions of the songs to make them different, like to make them like sound too similar. And then basically like they're like, in order to rerun this, you have to pay these several estates. And they just were like, no, we're just not going to rerun it. Sadly, too, because this is Rodney Dangerfield's last role ever.
Really?
This is the last thing he did. They said they had to wheel him in a wheelchair.
I was shocked when I heard his voice.
I was too. I thought it was somebody doing an impression.
I did too
at first, but then when I looked more into it, obviously it is him.
Yeah. Did you?
But Joel, how did this get made?
I mean, we kind of already, talked about it. It is a retelling of the Pied Piper of Hamelin's story that was released. God, when was that released? God, when was the original Pied Piper story released?
Shit, I don't know.
I should have done better. I should have looked this up. The original, it was done in a letter in 1643. 1803, another writer wrote a poem based off of the story. So this is it's a folk tale, basically.
Yes.
That has just been passed down from generation to generation. And this is just, at the time, a modern retelling of it, which I thought...
The guy who did... Well, he was one of the writers on Chalk Zone.
I know. I saw that, too. That was really cool. Bill...
Yeah, Bill Burnett. So...
He was working on both scripts at the same time, Andrew.
Yeah, he would sneak in overtime. So he could... He'd be like, yeah, I'm writing a Chalk Zone episode, and then he'd write the Electric Piper.
They did originally pitch this idea to... I did find this out. They originally pitched it to Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
But development quickly fell when Fred Scheibert left for Fredernado Studios.
Yeah. I know that this is actually another thing with the musical licensing. The thing was it was made in 2000, but because of the licensing stuff, they didn't get it off the ground to 2003.
Yeah.
This has got a surprising cast. Not only is Rodney Dangerfield in this, we also have Wayne Brady as Sly. Rob Schneider is in this.
Crazy.
apparently George Segal was somebody worth mentioning back in 2000, but
Mayor Nick?
Yeah, Mayor Nick Nixon. As far as I can tell, he's not in anything but they were just like, yeah, they had Rodney Dangerfield as the rat. He's the rat king.
Yeah.
They call him like Ratty Tatty Tat. Yeah, Rat-a-tat-tat.
Rat-a-tat-tat.
The story is a lot less pedophilic than other tellings of the Pied Piper, in my personal opinion.
Excellent.
As in, the kids leave of their own volition rather than the Pied Piper hypnotizing them and taking them to a cave. But the story is, if you don't know about that, so we're the town of Hamilton, Hamlin, that's right. Hamlin is the best suburb in the whole wide world. Everybody there is every adult, I should say, is very happy with life. And every kid is like, I want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible.
It's the epitome of like the 60s rebellious kid.
Which is what Bill Burnett was trying to go for. He said, I really wanted to encapsulate that image. So, and he succeeded, I guess.
Yeah. My parents won't let me play rock and roll. That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah, pretty much.
My dad won't let me play this guitar all day.
I can't remember the main character's name. Not the pipe sly, obviously. No, the other guy. The boy.
That was
Mick. That's right.
Oh, Mick. Was it Mick?
Yeah, Mick.
Yep.
I always think Mick is a weird name because it's a slur for the Irish.
Yeah.
So anyway, our boy Mick, he wants to learn to play the guitar, and his dad is the mayor. His dad is like, you just need to settle down and have good American values. And his sister just wants to be a person. That's like her literal only dream. Yeah. She's like, well, her dream is to be an astronaut. But his dad's like, women don't have dreams.
It does take place in the 60s.
Does it? Or is the town just stuck in the 60s? We don't see a calendar.
It says it takes place in the 60s.
Where does it say that? It says the town's based off the 60s. I ain't see no calendar.
So you're saying this is like the movie Pleasantville?
Yeah.
Well, there was just a town that's stuck in the 60s.
I mean, we don't know where Hamlin is.
All right, fine. Andrew believes this is just modern day town that's stuck in the past. I'm saying it's stuck in the 60s.
Am I that far? Is that stretch of an imagination?
No.
Because when they do the flashback to where old Nixon Dixon was a fucking thug. Because, okay. So the rats are like, hey, these people, we can run right over. We can take over this town.
It's the best town to live in. So wouldn't it also be the best town for rats?
And Rodney Dangerfield is like, oh, boys, let's live here. We'll get all the respect.
Hey,
they don't have Rodney Dangerfield say a lot. I think he's just, I think this is just there to boost numbers.
Yeah, but between oxygen, takes, he's just making noises.
I mean, he's up there in 2003.
Yeah.
No, this was made in 2000, which means this was probably recorded in, I would say 1990, 1999, 1998.
Yep.
So he's still pretty up there. So the rats come. This is when they meet Sly. He is a musical pest control associate.
Yeah.
And
what a job.
Yeah. And at first, you know, he shows them, he's like, hey, I can get rid of these rats for you, but it's not going to be for free. And
I need that cheddar.
I need money. No, and actually, he doesn't say that. He said he needs payment. He's just like, what's your payment? And he goes, I want the mayor's motorcycle. And the mayor's like, but that's my baby. And he's left alone. He's left that life far behind because he's a straight laced kids ought to behave and respect. Yeah, he's the mayor. He's
don't learn the guitar, learn to walk.
Yeah. Learn to work and provide. Like, oh, what a terrible outlook on life where it's just like your only reason to exist is to provide. No dreams, no nothing. Just be a cog.
Ain't that our life now, Andrew?
No, because we have a stupid ass podcast that we do. We have other things. We're outside. Yes, we are all
we
cogs.
learn how to play our metaphorical guitar.
The guitar itself is a metaphor for other shit that you can do outside of it. And while not everything's going to make you a millionaire, prime examples right here, you can still have fun. Like, just because let's be real, Mick's probably going to end up having to work eventually.
He's going to be mayor of Hamlin.
Even Sly has a job, and he's fucking magic.
Yeah, he's a musician. His primary.
Well, he's an exterminator.
Oh,
musician is his side, gig, and also being magical.
Yeah,
and even he has to have a job in society, so it's not like the. I get what this,
was going
movie's trying to say, follow your passion, but I'm like, even the Pied Piper has a job.
Yeah, he can't.
He's still got bills to pay in his magical castle where he can make anything happen. But so he does. They sing a song, and Mick asks, he goes, do you really have to kill him, Sly? He goes, well, for you. Also, I figured you would appreciate it because Etrigan is one of your favorite DC characters.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Sly rhyming everything he said?
I liked it. I
figured you would.
Yeah.
But, he sings him a song about just diving in the river, and then they all swim away. And old Tricky Dick, he don't want to pay up.
Oh, no.
And Pied Piper, the Electric Piper, excuse me, is like, I did my end of the bargain, like, pay up. I did my job. He's like, he barely did anything. He had the same mentality. He had the same mentality as my friend who's a graphic designer when he does the job too fast, where he's like, hey, I need a logo for my business. And he whips up something in like 30 minutes. And he's like, all right, that'll be $500. He goes, why? You barely did anything. I'm like, well, he knows how to do that in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't know how.
You want to try it yourself?
Yeah. You don't know how to make a logo. That's why you hired him. Or, our friend of the show, James, he's a locksmith, and constantly people are trying to dog him out of payments because it's like, you did it too fast. I'm like, motherfucker, you wouldn't be in your house if I didn't.
Do you want me to take my time?
Do you want me to take my time to get you back in your dumbass house because you don't know how to fucking hide a key under a rock, you dipshit? See, I could not have his job. I would be losing my cool constantly. I'm like, I cannot tell you how many times that man has messaged me like, "Oh, this person, this person didn't want to pay me." I'm like, I would have locked the door back.
Yeah, I would have too.
All right, there you go.
There you
But
go.
anyway, the Piper
call
does
me
something.
if you need me again.
The Piper also has a pretty extreme crash out, one would say. He goes, "Hey, you better pay me before I turn the hourglass over." And he's Nixon Dixon's like, "You know what? I'm the mayor of the best suburb in America. So you just go on." He goes, "I'm gonna go up to the mountain." And he starts playing a guitar that creates a musical bridge, and all the kids leave. Mick goes back for his guitar, and they just kind of hang out. But they did leave willingly, I think. Is that how you interpreted it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how,
And
yeah.
I think the original Pied Piper is he takes them and drowns them.
Yeah, it's not so wholesome.
It's a German fairy tale. They all end with, "And then everyone died a horrible, miserable death. And the same will happen to you if you don't clean your room." You're like, "What
Learn
the
your
fuck?
rules.
I gotta go." Yeah.
Yep.
So, they're all hanging out, and this is he shows him, he's like, "We can do whatever we want. This is it. Your wish is my command." So they swim in lava. They go to the moon. That's also London. They do open heart surgery on a walrus. And while they're there, everyone back at Hamlin is getting old fast.
Yeah.
And they're like, "We're getting old." And that's when Nixon Dixon is just like, "Oh, yeah, he said he would turn up the hourglass. I guess that means we're going to age to dust."
Should have just paid the man.
And then the kids they start to get bored. And they're like, "We want to leave." Well, no, first they start getting bored, but Mick has yet to ask Sly, "Can you teach me to play the guitar?" And his sister is like, "Why don't you just ask him?" He goes, "He doesn't want to do that." And of course, he finally asks him, goes, "Why didn't you do this earlier?" He goes, "I was waiting for you to ask." I'm like, well, no shit. One lesson, Mick immediately learned. This is because we have 20 minutes left in the movie. Mick immediately picks up Guitar Like a Champion and is also able to do magic. And during this magical song, we hear their parents, crying out for them. They're like, "We're so sorry. We didn't listen to you. We realize now that our life is not your life. Come home. Let's be a family again."
Yeah.
And like every child, mostly, they miss their parents. And this is when we have a weird turn from Sly, because I feel like this is the first time he's like shown a bit of attitude. Like, I feel like in the movie it was out of character to be like, "Y'all aren't leaving. I don't want to be alone." And it's just,
I'm a magic pest control and guitar player. I have no friends.
And you kids are all I got. And so they're just like, "We want to go home." Like, really, it could have been just a discussion, but like, "Hey, Sly, we can just come visit you, right? Or you could just live in the town.
We've got this.
Have to keep us prisoner."
Andrew, let's be honest, he's a man of color. He ain't welcome in that town.
If it's in the 60s, like you say, but if it's in the 2000s, like I think, where Nixon Dixon's just a little, backwater for his way. I mean, they didn't immediately like, "Hey, Hamlin's a sundown town boy. You better get out of here." They fucking, let him do his job. So they're modern enough that they probably let him live.
Let him live. Let him live
and
move
live
into
there.
a house.
Yeah, I think so. I like to think so.
I like to. Okay. I'll think that too.
So, it'd be wild if they didn't. So they Mick is able to rock magic now, except for one time he falls in a pit and Mick dies. And it doesn't matter because Sly comes to his senses. He goes, "You're right. I shouldn't be keeping children away from their parents. What the fuck was I thinking?"
You know what?
So he has the guitar solo of life.
Yes.
My theory is he had a Snickers because you're not yourself when you're hungry.
True.
Snickers, sponsor this show.
Finally had one.
And so they bring him back and they're just like, "Hey, you guys are all old. How long have we been gone?" And like the town of Hamlin is like, "We don't know." And there's one line that one of the dads says where he's blind, like not Dixon, but his friend.
Yeah.
And like he's blind. And he's just like, "I see him over there." And I'm like, that dude was not told his character's blind because he didn't see anything.
Yep.
So they get Sly to rock magic everything back to normal, and they give him. Oh yeah, there is one. Nixon Dixon finally does put on the billboard of the sign, "Welcome to Hamlin." He spray paints it, and he's like, "Bring our kids back," and he puts the motorcycle up, and then Sly does take his payment, so he's not be like free of charge, but. No. He does make
man's got to get paid.
Yeah, man's got to get paid. And then they make them trade hats. So Nixon Dixon's got the top hat and Sly has got the biker's hat. He rides off into the sunset. But now Mick is the Hamlin's resident magical rocker. So, Mick Jagger. Do you think they were doing that for Mick Jagger?
I guess that would be my.
And then it was truly Mick Jagger's British. I don't think this was like Mick Jagger's origin story or anything. But yeah, that is probably why they called him Mick.
The Mick Jagger story.
Mick Jagger origin story, where a magical Jimi Hendrix teaches him rock and roll.
Yeah, Jimi Hendrix came into my town, got all the rats.
Even though I'm pretty sure they were the same age. They were born in the same year.
My dad, Richard Nixon, didn't want to pay him.
This does sound like a old rock star, like just riddled with posts and young drugs and old drugs, trying to tell people how he became a rock star.
Yeah.
But,
it's if Ozzy Osbourne tried to retell his story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much. You can find this finally. It's on YouTube. It's on Internet Archive. I don't think it'll ever. I think because of the music, I don't think it'll ever be on streaming, like legit streaming. But
you're never going to get a DVD release. You're never going to do it. It's
But it is available, and I do recommend watching it.
It's worth a watch. It's not bad. I mean, the animation in it's pretty solid.
The character design was by the guy who did Hey Arnold.
Yeah, like it's not a bad movie.
Yeah, Jerry Richardson. Excuse me. No, I don't. I do know that this is one of the few, and I think this has something to do with like possibly Rodney Dangerfield's health issues, but like this is one of the few animated films where they didn't do an ensemble recording.
Yeah.
They recorded separately. And I think that was due to Rodney's health issues.
Yeah.
But Joel, it is time to move to your new reoccurring segment. Reviews that are electric and reviews that are a dirty rat.
Okay, Andrew. So this is sitting at a 5.9 out of 10.
That's
on
fair.
IMDb. Do you want to guess how many people have rated this thing, Andrew?
I would say it's probably less than 500.
Very good. 114. So there was not a 1-star review, not really any low reviews at all.
Okay.
There is one 10 out of 10. It's titled Great Retelling of the Classic Pied Piper Tale. Great musical and retelling the Pied Piper only with electric guitars. Very colorful animation that is nice to look at, and awesome writing and likable characters. The only thing I don't like about the movie is it is a bit cheesy sometimes, but that is it. It has really good climax, a really good story, really good characters, and really good animation. It is really good that the film has been found, and after watching it, I think Nickelodeon should get it released on DVD and Blu-ray, because at the moment, it has only been leaked online. My conclusion is that this is a really good and memorable film that deserves a higher rating.
I assume he really liked it because
He really did.
like 15 times.
Really good. It's really good.
That sounded like somebody who was on coke wrote that. I really liked it. I really liked it.
He was tripping on acid, just like Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix, the hero.
Turn him over so he doesn't, choke on his own vomit.
Oh, that's actually how he really died.
I know. But yes, that's it for the reviews, Andrew.
Okay. Well, I think that wraps up the Electric Piper. If you would like to support us electrically, you can go to patreon.com/cartoondd. There we have the $5 tier that gets you stickers and pins mailed to your door. Extended audio episodes that are, extended audio video episodes.
You can finally see our face.
See our stupid faces. If you watch the videos, you should let us know. Which one sounded like which? Who did you think was who at first? Like when you see our faces, like did they match? I don't know what I'm trying to ask.
It's kind of I know what you're talking about. Is do you picture?
Yeah. Did you picture? Yeah.
Glowing face as being my voice? Probably
I know.
Not.
I've heard I don't sound like how I look. I don't know how to take it.
I feel like I sound like exactly how I look.
You can. It also gives you access to our Discord. If you have a request, you can go to cartoondumpsterdive.com. There we also have the store. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. We are Cartoon DD on Twitter, Cartoon Dumpster Dive everywhere else. And as always, thank you for the 5-star review of on the podcasting platform of your choice, so we don't get whisked off to a magical mountain never to be seen again. Have a great rest of your week.
See you.